This beef between Lawrence Okolie and Dillian Whyte seems to be ongoing. They're still talking smack about each other in the press and social media. Now, who's talking here? Yeah, Okolie here is talking about what went on with the Dillian Whyte beef at the start. He says, my aim wasn't to cause a stir with that. It was just a lot of people talk about me in the media and on their platforms. When there are fighters who are below me or coaches or people that I won't engage, but Dillian spoke about me on the day that I posted. I didn't like what was said, so that's his opinion of my boxing. So I made my opinion on him and me boxing. In terms of moving up to heavyweight, I believe definitely is something that's going to happen. I always believe in myself, and I've always set targets, and targets and gone and accomplished them. That's what I'll say on that. So that's Lawrence Okolie's take on it. He also says, I'm not going to single him out and say I'm gunning for Dillian Whyte, in regards to stepping up to heavyweight. He also says, I'm doing my own career. But at the end of the day, I don't say stuff for no reason. It is what it is. We'll see how I handle Whyte, and we'll see what I do at cruiserweight. But definitely that's a fight I would happily take. So he's talking about the Dillian Whyte fight. Now, Dillian Whyte responded by saying, look, I don't have much time for sparring stories. Sparring is sparring, but Okolie is living on another planet. The last boxer to make up a sparring story about me was Chisora, and everyone saw how that ended. I only sparred Okolie twice over 2 days in 2015, and the second time he was very arrogant, so I put a little pressure on him, and he folded and had to be helped out of the ring, and miss his next fight because of his injuries. Instead of trying to get my attention, he should concentrate on the cruiserweight division, where he's already twice pulled out of fights against Richard Riakpo, who I 100% believe would knock him out. Okolie is a complete hype job. He already pulled out of 2 fights against Richard, and that's before I even managed him. If I fought him, I'd snap him in two like a twiglet. Okolie and his handful of supporters called himself Penny Boys, which is a great name for him, as that's all he'll earn off boxing, pennies, as he has no real talent, no heart, no chin, and nothing about him is likable. So a typical Dillian Whyte kind of response. Pulling no punches, as usual with Dillian Whyte, right? We expect nothing less from the body snatcher. But as far as what Okolie said, he's staying open to a potential showdown with Dillian Whyte. He clearly believes in himself based upon those sparring sessions. And interestingly enough, those sparring sessions, according to Dillian Whyte, took place back in 2015. And why I say it's interesting is because in those sparring sessions, or at least in the tiny clip of one of the sparring sessions that we saw, which Okolie had posted on his social media, Okolie looked a lot more relaxed and fluid than I've ever seen him in a professional fight. So there's clearly a lot of form he's producing in the gym, which he's yet to produce in the ring. So the ceiling for Lawrence Okolie might be a lot higher than people currently believe it to be right now, based upon what I saw in the gym. Now, some fighters, they call them gym fighters. They can never reproduce what they do in the gym in a real fight. There are so many countless fighters over the years you could name who are like that. I mean, one guy who I'm thinking of right now is Jesse Ferguson. Jesse Ferguson, former world title challenger, fringe contender in the 80s and 90s. He was a beast in the gym. Let me tell you that. He gave some top heavyweights that work and that business, that smoke in the gym. But when it came to an actual real fight, he just couldn't replicate that kind of form. He maybe did in the Ray Mercer fights, but other than that, he just couldn't perform to the level in a real boxing match that he could in the gym and sparring. And he, of course, famously fought Mike Tyson. He also was Mike Tyson's sparring partner for many years. You can watch Jesse Ferguson's sparring videos against Tyson on YouTube, and you'll find that in many of those sparring sessions, he performed way better than he did in his actual fight against Tyson that they had early in Tyson's career. Yeah, Ferguson was giving Tyson the business in some of them sparring sessions. But when they fought, he really couldn't do much with Tyson. So yeah, some fighters just can't replicate the sparring performance in a real fight. Perhaps Lawrence Okolie will be the same because, again, based upon that tiny clip from 2015, several years ago now, he's improved since then, surely. But based upon a tiny clip, this guy's got a lot more in the tank, a lot more in the locker. He has a lot more ability than is so far shown. Will it be enough ability to beat somebody like a Dillian Whyte in a couple years' time if they were to fight at heavyweight? I doubt many people would believe so, but you never know. Boxing is a funny old game. Strange things do happen. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. It's happening about. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.